Devon Gregory, identified by his family as the 18-year-old who was in that car that night. You see his picture right here next to me. Police say 4 officers fired shots after they say this situation escalated. Alex Oside is joining us tonight with a closer look, and he joins us live with what he's learned today about this officer-involved shooting.
Anthony, Devon Gregory was 18 years old. We spoke off camera with his family, and they say he leaves behind younger siblings and worked 2 jobs. This is where that situation happened just last night, and tonight his family says they are remembering him. This picture, confirmed by a family friend, the 18-year-old shot by Jacksonville Sheriff's officers Tuesday night in the Lakeshore area. The family says they identify him as one of 3 people who were in a car stopped on San Juan Avenue near Cassat. Chief T.K. Waters said what began as a traffic stop escalated, adding that officers tried to talk to the passenger, but after several minutes, that ended with 4 officers firing their service weapons. The situation also caught on video by a bystander. Waters says after the shooting, a handgun was found in the vehicle. As for the officers, Waters says this is the first shooting that each of the 4 had been involved in. All were wearing body cameras at the time. The On Your Side team has requested access to that video as well as any additional reports. Gregory's family did not want to discuss the situation any further. Those 4 officers are on administrative leave tonight as an investigation continues. Reporting live in Lakeshore, Alex Oside, First Coast News, On Your Side.